Hey y'all, what's up, love? What's up, family? So I had an interesting conversation with a young lady just yesterday, or today. My days are running into one another, and just talking about the purpose of relationships. It's been really interesting, really, really interesting. So because of that, it ended up kind of turning into a conversation about feminine toxicity. And of course, we know that all girls are sugar and spice and everything nice. So how could toxicity exist with femininity, right? Yeah, I know. Right. Anyhow, not getting into that part, let me tell you the result of feminine toxicity. The result is where we are today. Oftentimes, I meet women who want to date and want to go out, and I'm all for that. Um, but there ends up being a time now where I actually don't see a need for any type of exclusivity. I see no reason whatsoever. Here's why. I've heard all my life growing up. I'm 39 years old now, right? I've heard all my life growing up how unfair women thought it was to go grocery shopping, how unfair they thought it was to have to come home and cook, and then also have to deal with a cheating, lying ass man, right? Because he ain't bringing home enough money. He's not bringing home enough options or enough responsibility, carrying enough, or whatever it is, right? That time has passed. In the 1950s, where men just kind of had a good old boy type of job, not that the time has passed. But for the most part, most of us are not living in that. You might have that kind of relationship, lucky you. But for the most part, most of us don't have that kind of relationship. It's not a good old boy slap each other on the ass and say, hey, good job, let's go play some golf type relationship. It's we're out there working, hustling, grinding. The same way women are out there working, hustling, grinding. Except now, a man like myself has been taught my entire life. I've heard it thousands of times by different women. Same thing. They don't like cooking. They don't like cleaning. They don't like doing that. So now, someone like myself, I'll clean for myself. Now I've learned to enjoy just cleaning for myself, cleaning my own place for myself. So you come over my house. My house is pretty, pretty immaculate. I cook very well for myself because I've always heard how bothersome it is for women to cook. I love cooking for myself, right? I order my groceries now online. I don't have to worry about going to the grocery store. I don't have to worry about her getting it wrong. I don't have to have an argument over what toilet paper is what, or what dishwashing detergent is best, or clothes detergent is greatest. I don't have to have those conversations. I just decide. Click, send. I pay extra $4 or $5 for delivery. Well worth it. Some point, it's going to come down to if I were to have my own child, for example. Instead of having a woman here bother me about it, what I would do is hire a babysitter, hire someone on a regular schedule, or move somebody in a room. Here, this is part of your rent. Your rent is now $400 a month. The other part of your rent is taking care of my kid, my son, my daughter, whatever. Men, successful men, and success is just saying you got a job that you love and you're okay. Decent car, decent crib. You're not bottom struggling, bottom feeding anymore, right? When you get to this point, we're so well trained to take care of ourselves because every woman along the way has said, feed me, clothe me, spoil me, take care of me, and over exploited, basically abused chivalry. That at this point, you get to this age when life is golden, like the golden age for men and the trauma age for women. And I have no desire whatsoever to be in a relationship. So then what ends up happening is I'll end up dating women in their mid-20s, or I'll continue dating women in their 30s. And you're wondering about the conversation, but here's the thing. Women in their 30s and 40s and older give themselves far more credit than they deserve. Far more credit. Generally speaking, there are some exceptions, but for the most part, having a conversation with a 40-year-old is having a conversation with a 25-year-old. The difference is just experience. But the intellect is very much the same. The rationale is very much the same. The nonsense, like some of the nonsense is very much the same. I went on a date with a woman one time. This one was 44 years old. I was like, man, my neck is killing me. My neck, man. Like, yo, how were your massage skills? I just asked her, can you massage here? Literally, give her oh, I don't do massages. I don't know how to do massages. Okay. You don't want to try? Tell you what, I turned gave me, I took her neck and showed her, this is what you do, just right here, you can do that. Yeah. She put her hands on me, basically acting as if she was some, like literally some mentally challenged child who couldn't understand the basics of a simple massage. And this woman was 44. The date was over. I stood up and said, thank you very much. I enjoyed your company. Take care. And I left. I don't have time to train you. No, not at this age. Women are spoiled. You're all to the point now, a majority, a large majority in my experience. I don't know about everyone else's experience. I'm saying in my experience, it's a culture. Women have gotten this culture of feminine toxicity. And this feminine toxicity starts with the entitlement, the feeling that you are owed. You are owed this meal simply because you're supplying vagina. You are owed this outfit and this purse simply because you've put on your makeup this morning to look respectable. That's really all I ask for a man like me, is like, look respectable, look attractive. I don't need you to, if you're spending 30 minutes and putting on makeup in the morning, you're not the woman for me. That's very simple. Unless you got a photo shoot, you're not the woman for me, right? Just look respectable, look good, look like you got yourself together. It's not that much. I've figured out what works well for me, and I just do it every morning. Get up and I do it. Every night before I go to bed, I look a certain way as well. It's just hygiene, taking care of myself. And anyhow, we arrived now at this place where the men that a lot of women find highly eligible are just not interested in settling down, because I see absolutely no advantage to it whatsoever. And women will say, oh, I have the greatest conversation, I'm good company, I'm blah, blah, blah. So is every other woman. You're telling me to stop and settle down with you and stop talking, having conversations or relationships with, in whatever capacity, with 5 or 10 other women. Sweetie, you're not worth it. Ooh, you're not worth it. That's a reality check that a lot of women seem to not get until they hit like their 40s, or they start getting glimpses of it around 33. Once they go through that 29 and 30-year-old like shock phase, that like panic. Once you pass that panic and realize you're not married, you don't have any kids, or you don't have any or you're undateable. Every man who dates you can't tolerate you and moves on, and all you got is your kid. And you're like, that's okay, because all I got my kid. That's all I need. You know, that's a lie in the middle of the night for sure. We end up finding you undateable. Men like me end up finding you all undateable. Not because you're not because you aren't actually dateable, because we've been so trained by all of you throughout our entire childhood, adolescence, and really young adulthood to not need a woman. I don't think women have considered the other side of this equation. Women are saying, I don't need a man. I've heard this a long time. Don't need a man. Consider, what if men decided we don't need you? We shop for ourselves, we cook for ourselves, we clean for ourselves. All that drama, all that argument and divisiveness, trying to answer questions that I don't want to be answered, I don't care to be answered because I'm a grown ass man, all that stuff goes right out the window if I decide to not become exclusive with you, to not strictly date you, and just have friends. Just have friends. Friend or two with benefits, and it don't bother me. I don't care what you do with your life. So you just choose responsibly. Be a responsible adult when you go out there with somebody else. When you come back here, we'll have our fun, we'll enjoy ourselves, enjoy our conversation, and whatever else beyond that. But other than that, you can go home and enjoy your life. Why bring you into this equation when my equation is already perfect? It really goes back to Beyonce's song. It's true, man. It's true. When she talks about let me upgrade you, and then Jay-Z asks a question, what's higher than number one? Like, what I need you to upgrade me for? What's higher than number one? And then she goes into the argument, right? Her position as to why he needs her. A lot of women ain't listening to that. You're not listening to that. I think at the very least, if you are listening to it, you're just dancing when you really should be absorbing and understanding you need to bring a greater value. I mean, a lot of women who think just because they're attractive, they're automatically qualified. No, you're qualified to get fucked. That's it. You're attractive, you're qualified to get fucked. If you sound ghetto, if you act ghetto, if you have no vocabulary, no real conversation, Why would I be dumb enough to marry you? Doesn't make any sense. Why would I be dumb enough to be exclusive with you? Even if I do say I'm exclusive with you, which I wouldn't do this, but if a man does say that and that you're not really his type, he's trying to fit you into a type of category that you don't fit in. It's like just a round piece in a square peg or something. If you don't fit, you don't fit. Naturally, he's gonna cheat on you. Naturally, he's gonna step out on you because he's being true to himself. He's cheating on you. He's being honest with himself. So anyhow, that's my take. I think it's something interesting you all think about. And it's easy, ladies. I ask that you avoid the temptation to become bullies, because this is something else. A part of feminine toxicity is that there's this bullying. When women disagree, the first thing they do is they want to attack you being a man. They want to attack saying you're not strong enough, you're not smart enough, you're not disciplined enough. And listen, I'm not helping me out. I'm helping you out. So I'm telling you what other men are thinking, other men in my position are thinking. You can deny it all you want, the same way you all, Black women in particular, have denied growing up. You denied that the attitudes was a problem. And now you got more white men, more Black men than ever in this exodus dating other ethnicities, because other ethnicities don't have the same attitude, don't have the same divisiveness, the same argumentative natures, the same confrontationalities over nothing, confrontations over nothing. Coming home arguing for what? We ain't got time for that. Smarter men don't have time for that. Smarter women don't have time for that. Smart people, period, would not have time for that, would not make time for it. I suggest we do a really true and thorough self-analysis of not just the culture, not just the different cultures, and certainly not just masculine toxicity, but certainly look further into both genders. There are two of us. To believe that to be feminine is to be flawless is to be foolish. Anyhow, I hope it helps somebody.